Hello, I'm Eric Wyden, DM for Roleplay Tabletop, where every month our group of friends gets together and plays through a brand new one-shot adventure in Dungeons & Dragons, sometimes with a celebrity guest, and this is video number 3 on learning voices for RPGs. You all seem to really like our last video where I did 25 voices and then picked 3 and dissected and practicing them. So we're going to do 10 more, then quickly break down the process of morphing my regular voice into them using all the techniques that we learned in our foundational video, which I highly recommend you go back and watch if you haven't already. The link to that video is in the description below. It covers all the sources and filters like vocal fry, false folds, true folds, and the soft palette, just to name a few. I highly recommend it as you're going to be a whole lot better at voices just by grasping a firm understanding of all the mechanical parts that make the voice work. Now let's dive into working our vocal muscles by quickly dissecting 10 more character voices from across media. This is going to be quick to just showcase how I hear a voice and then break it down to its base parts to mimic it.
Well, I'll have to check my schedule. Let's see. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 5 o'clock, dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again. I'm booked.
The Grinch is deeper. Fry. So we're doing vocal fry. The soft palate is just slightly raised. Too much and it sounds like that, so we're here. The tongue favors the roof of the mouth. Jaw's unhinged with the lower jaw extended forward. And that's the Grinch.
I'm a Shinigami, and one day I'll write your name in my death note. Now, don't be so gloomy. Apple.
Ryuk is very chest voicey. You're doing that sigh to activate the false folds. It's entirely false folds. That deeper. False phone breath, pushing on my diaphragm.
And there we have it. I am maybe going just a little bit higher. No soft palate involvement whatsoever. And I'm letting just a tinge of my true phones kind of accentuate it to give it a little more of an actual voice, rather than just all false phones, to give it a little bit of pitch. So we're doing that,
That's what I'm talking about when I say false folds, like we talked about in our foundational video. Adding breath.
And this is the root of Ryuk's voice. Prince Zuko, in your hunt for the Avatar, you will find there is more to it than power. There is also balance.
Uncle Iroh, we're going to start normal voice, and it's going to be that false fold, kind of tube and throat. Same thing with Ryuk, except we're not going to go deeper. We're going to stay kind of higher up. And then let a little bit of true folds kind of blend in just to refine it.
Prince.
So we start true fold, and then we slip into that false fold, kind of that tube and throat.
Prince.
To really kind of just give it that kind of grittiness. The soft palate is raised just a touch.
Prince Zuko.
Here it is all the way down.
Prince Zuko. Prince Zuko.
It's maybe a little too much. It's literally just a touch.
Prince Zuko.
Really letting the kind of has that like phlegminess when he does, and he kind of like bleeds together Prince and Zuko into like one word with like a ZH kind of as the bridge between them. Prince Zuko is kind of how he says it. And again, that call, that kind of like phlegminess you let go in, like a drunk person would have as he kind of like mashes them together. So the false fold, bleeding from true fold into false fold, going a little bit higher, a touch of soft palate.
Prince Zuko. Prince Zuko.
There we have it.
Dobby has heard of your greatness, sir, but never has he been asked to sit down by a wizard. Harry Potter is Dobby's friend, and Dobby is a free elf.
Though Dobby's voice is can be naturally easy to fall into, there's actually a lot happening here. It's
Naturally higher pitch,
but it's fluttering right in between that boundary of chest voice and head voice. And it originates with Fry.
Dobby,
That Fry is the origin of it. That's its base. But you're bleeding in between your true folds, while at the same time fluttering between chest voice and head voice to let it kind of naturally crackle.
Dobby is a free F.
It's kind of exaggerated.
Free F.
And it can be kind of difficult to navigate, especially if, say, you were doing this voice like mid-session and you had to just jump into this. If it's already kind of worn out, this might actually be a difficult voice to do. But it originates in that vocal Fry.
Dobby,
Higher pitched, Dobby.
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
Going head voice.
Dobby is a free F.
The tongue, again, also kind of like favors the roof of the mouth a little bit, and there's a little bit of diaphragm of soft palate involvement.
Dobby is a free F.
You are kind of tightening and constricting that throat, really pulling in on the soft palate to give it that kind of like phlegminess, kind of almost similar to like that kind of drunken phlegminess we're going for Iroh, but just a little bit tighter on it. And it's very breathy, but in a high-pitched way, as opposed to Kronk from Emperor's New Groove, where his is breathy in a deeper way.
Dobby's is the same except higher.
To where even when I'm doing the voice, I'm just like deflating my lungs like a lot, to where and in between every word, I'm only drawing enough in to maintain that and to keep it going. A part of maintaining this voice is not having a lot of breath in the lungs, because if I
Dobby is a free F.
it projects too much and I can't get that kind of.
Dobby is a free F.
It's easier to kind of bounce between chest voice and head voice, kind of flirting that boundary when you have less air in the lungs and you're really kind of, the diaphragm doesn't have to push as hard to kind of maintain that flutter. And that's Dobby. Oh, 10,000 years will really give you a crick in the neck. Yo, Rugman, haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Phenomenal cosmic powers. Bitty bitty living space. So Genie, though he has a multitude of voices being Robin Williams, it originates from Robin Williams' kind of like core voice, and it is a little bit deeper. You tighten the throat, and it's breathy, like you're out of breath doing an old man. Like you're out of breath doing an old man. You stay out of breath, just letting yourself kind of draw enough to keep going, kind of similar to how Dobby was. There's raspiness and just a little bit of false folds. It's very chest voicey, though, with just a hint of the soft palate to give it that kind of phlegmy slurriness, like similar to how he had it in Uncle Iroh's voice. So we go deeper. Tighten the throat. Breathy, like you're out of breath doing an old man. You stay out of breath, letting it draw enough to keep going. Raspiness and a hint of false folds. Little chest voice here. This is kind of Robin Williams is like a regular voice, kind of. The soft palate. Yo, Rugman. That's where the soft palate would really kind of come in. Rugman, give it that phlegminess kind of voice, but not exaggerated like that. Yo, Rugman, give me some tassel. I'm the genie. I'm the lamp. And there we have Genie.
Like, oh my god, Andrew, did you seriously forget my Pretty Little Liars meet and greet?
Lola lives completely in the false folds. That tube and throat.
Oh, deeper.
Tighten your throat a lot, and you have to pretty much naturally smush your face. Within the false folds, we're going to be going up and down in register.
Oh my god, oh my god,
Her inflections drag out certain syllables, exaggerating the false folds, kind of gutturals in the deeper ends.
Oh my god,
That's where we're doing the filter of just using our lips to get them really tight, to get that
god,
And it's very, very nose heavy as well. This would be it with no nose.
Oh my god,
With nose.
oh my god,
So we are really pushing out the nose. So to do Lola from Big Mouth, lean heavily into the false folds. Keep going up and down and register just in false folds. Don't bleed into your chest voicey true folds at all. No fry or anything, and just push it all out the nose. So
leaning into the false folds, going up and down, squishing our faces together, going a little bit deeper and pushing out the nose.
Hey, Arnold, your teacher called and said you got caught playing hooky today. I never graduated grade school. I'll be darned if you don't either.
Arnold's grandfather
There is higher pitch, based in vocal fry, using fry, the side of the mouth. Soft palate is slightly raised, too much and it'll sound like this, or it is going there. Tap into the false folds in the lower register.
That's all fry.
Arnold! Arnold!
So you're going from a higher pitch fry down into false folds.
Arnold!
I'm going to steal the Krabby Patty formula no matter how many times I have to try.
Plankton's voice is deeper. We're just going to take our normal voice and go deep, talk out the side of our mouth, and that gives it that kind of resonance. Instead of doing the same voice like this normally, we open just the side of our mouth, and in doing that filter, we now get that more resonance and everything to it. And that kind of like wind blowy kind of air thing that kind of underlays his normal voice. The soft palate is going to be raised a little bit to give it that phlegminess. And we're projecting just a little bit through the nose, just a little bit. Not a whole lot, as you can hardly hear a huge difference, but just a little bit. It's essentially, literally a deeper Peter Griffin.
Yeah, hey Lois. Yeah, hey Lois.
Literally, that's what it is. And you tap into the false folds when he yells.
No matter how many times it takes.
I'm always referencing the tube and throat because that's the core base of activating your false folds. It's kind of what's underneath all those false fold things. So this one, most voices do bleed into the false folds when you yell in a healthy way, which again, if you haven't seen the foundational video we have talking about how to access every single part of your vocal anatomy, doing it in a healthy way is huge. And being able to yell and do these voices using your false folds rather than your true folds is how you're going to be able to do them properly in a healthy way, and to where it will not only sound better, but you'll be able to last way longer at the table, to where your players have a conversation with somebody, and then by the end of that conversation, say it was like
a goblin or something.
By the end of that whole conversation, your voice is shot, and that's because you were using your true folds incorrectly when you should have been using some fry or false folds. So again, if you have not learned the basics of this, please go back and watch that video.
Zoidberg is never considered a serious doctor, all because he doesn't have a medical education.
Zoidberg is literally almost all soft palate. Zoidberg.
Zoidberg, Zoidberg, Zoidberg.
Then project through the nose.
Zoidberg, 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 Zoidberg.
The tongue favors the roof of the mouth, and the jaw's loose, kind of getting that phlegm, making it kind of like blurry. His voice kind of rises and falls with some syllables that are drug out. That's one of the main inflections to his voice. So it's Zoidberg, 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 Zoidberg. And then his voice just goes up and down when he's speaking.
Good news, everyone! I finally finished working on the what-if machine! Who would like to see a variation of their futures?
Farnsworth is higher pitched, so good news, everyone. Good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. Good news, everyone. And then you go out the nose to get that kind of like sick with a cold kind of sound, as if you were someone who was just kind of sick, with a slightly raised soft palate,
based mostly in true folds to kind of get that true fold vibrato, which is kind of like the key identifiers of his voice.
Good news, everyone.
He has that vibrato to it. That is mostly within the true folds, but there is a little bit of vocal fry that creeps in on certain syllables.
The what-if machine! Come!
That little bit of fry that kind of bleeds into there before you go back into your true folds to get that vibrato. And one of the inflections that he has is, he says, good news! News! Like N-Y-E-W-S. And that, like, literally one of his, how he enters every scene is, good news, everyone! And that there just had so many different little inflections that were just going on. The good news. And that started pretty much true folds, still a lot of nose activity, back of the throat, kind of higher pitched, and it's very head voicey, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot of chest voice going on, except for when you kind of bleed into that vibrato. Good news, everyone! It is a very chest, head voicey kind of a voice, actually, now that I'm kind of analyzing it and everything. So yeah, we go from our regular voice to a higher pitched, to going out the nose, to doing some vibrato, and dipping a little bit in the vocal fry. And for the most part, that is Farnsworth. I'd like to do a video series where you request character voices in the comments, and then I make videos where I dissect and learn a bunch of your requested voices. So if there's a favorite character voice of yours, or one that you think would be interesting to dissect, or maybe one that you think I'd have a hard time attempting and would likely embarrass myself with, then post it down below. Comment what else you would like me to explore in future videos, and I'll do it. As always, this is just advice. Play however the heck you want to, because as long as everybody's having fun, then you're doing it right. Thank you so much just for being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.